So today's workshop, crucial Google Ads alerts, and clarifying here as well, we're going to be talking about scripts and automated rules. And again, mainly tailored for B2B companies, simply because that is the type of businesses we work with. So most of our strategies and everything we do best suit companies with that profile. So quick little second disclaimer as well. What I am covering here today is by no means an exhaustive list of all of the possible scripts and alerts that you could or maybe even should set up in your accounts. This is simply what we consider makes sense for everyone and should be the bare minimum to ensure good account hygiene. So again, to manage your expectations, we are not going to be talking about some fancy, cool growth hack or strategy today, rather focusing on the base hygiene and how to stay on top of things, especially with summer on the way, when we maybe will be taking a little bit of a break from managing something like a Google Ads account super closely every day. So let's move on. What do I have here? I have Holini's intro slides. The people from the audience today who have already joined previous workshops have seen this, so I will go through it quickly. But basically, who am I? Who are we? We are Holini, a Google Ads and Analytics agency for B2B tech companies. Here is a list of some of the companies we have the privilege of working with. Maybe you recognize some names if there's someone familiar from your industry, maybe not. But anywho, a huge thank you for the people from these companies for trusting us with their Google Ads and Analytics efforts. Now, enough about us. Let's get to it. A few other things to consider before I start talking about the actual scripts. First of all, not all of the scripts I will be sharing have been developed by us. We do not want to claim that we have developed everything good that's out there about Google Ads. So sources have been linked if we are using or showcasing a script that we are using on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, but it has been developed by someone else. So I think it's very much okay to use the things that other people have also developed if they are available for free online or for purchase. Just let's always make sure to link to them, to say a quick thanks and help spread the word about the good work. Also, already briefly mentioned, the alerts that I'm talking about today have been set up via automated rules or scripts. So for those of you who maybe have not set those up before in your accounts, we will go through what they are and then where to find them in the Google Ads interface very quickly in just a second as well. So we are not using any external tool or anything to set up these alerts. Weather updates from Riva. Perfect. Yes, I have a window right next to me. I'm trying not to look at it. It's not improving my mood. But yeah, that's what you get for living in Estonia. Okay, another little kind of maybe I would consider this a tip for yourself when setting up, especially these automated rules to send you an email when the rule is triggered, is to think of the naming. And I remember back from the days when I was personally also managing accounts. I sometimes struggled with a lot of emails. I still struggle with that in my inbox. And it was really helpful to immediately, by looking at the email subject line, already understand what this email is about. And with automated rules, we have to keep in mind that the first, let's say, section of the name is always this Google Ads automated rule. And only then does it display the name. So if you want the subject line to also show you what the alert is, it makes sense to, let's say, front load the name of the automated rule so that even if a part of the subject line is cut off due to character limits or you looking at it on your phone, as one does during summer, then you make sure to put the most important information about the alert at the very beginning of the automated rule name. So a little thing to keep in mind, because then you clock it quicker, what's up, and can take action and ignore the ones that maybe aren't as important. Okay, then secondly, something to keep in mind, especially in this environment where so many of us are working remotely, internationally, is the timing that you set for the script or automated rule to run. So is it in the morning? Is it in the middle of the day, in the evening? What hour of the day exactly? So if we, for example, are managing some accounts which have been set up with a time zone in the US, then we have to keep that in mind if we want to get like an overview of the full day already or from yesterday, so that we don't end up seeing half of the data or something like that. So just a quick note to remember the time zone that the account is in. And thirdly, definitely don't overdo it. It's very easy to kind of get a little bit excited about these automated rules and scripts. So what can easily happen is that you set up too many of them. You end up getting too many emails, and we all know what happens when you start getting too much of something in your inbox. You start ignoring it, and then this whole thing loses its purpose. So we really have to be conscious about what we set up, what we actually need, and just try to keep it actionable, so that when we do get a trigger email from an alert, from a rule or a script, then we actually do take action as well, not just ignore it and have things get buried in our inbox. So the whole point of it is to just make your life easier, of course, not harder, especially if you're managing multiple accounts, or keeping an eye on the Google Ads account or managing it is only part of your work. You do other things as well. So this way, kind of simplifying some main processes and getting some overviews. Just an example from Andres from our team, what he has done. He has also forwarded some of these alerts into Slack for himself, because he feels like that works better for him. So just something to keep in mind if you're using something like Slack, that this might also be helpful. So taking the alerts out of your inbox and dealing with them via Slack instead. Okay, so just a quick recap about automated rules, what they are, where to find them in the account. So in the account, go under Tools, Bulk Actions, and Rules, and then you just need to click this blue button, plus button, to create a new rule. And you have then the rule creation opens up, and then you can start creating all those different steps. And filtering options. And there are different types of rules as well, as I showed here. So you can decide whether you want to create an account rule if you are setting this up on MCC level, campaign rules, ad group keywords, and so on. So for us, obviously being an agency, most of the alerts that we set up for ourselves, that are these kind of base hygiene alerts relevant for everyone, every account, we set them up on MCC level. So quick recap as well, MCC is like let's say a folder system for accounts in Google Ads. So if you have only one account, you might not have an MCC, you may have only a single account, or you have an MCC under which this one account lives. So in our case, we have Holini MCC, which is our entire agency main folder, let's say. Under that, we have MCCs for every single one of our specialists. And under each specialist's MCC, they have all of the accounts that they manage. So as I mentioned, kind of like a folder system. And you can decide to set up these rules and scripts on a single account level, which is more tedious if you have a lot of accounts to keep an eye on, or you can set them up on MCC level. Secondly, scripts, very similar location to find them. So again, Tools, Bulk Actions, and Scripts is where you find them. And creating a new script, again, just need to find the blue plus button. You have the option of creating a blank script. So just copy pasting the code of a script that you found online or from us today in this workshop. Or there are also some script templates available for you. So For example, one script that we are covering today is also in the Google Ads script template gallery. Okay, I'm sure you are going to be able to find where to set those up, and after today's workshop, you will be able to do this independently as well. If not, reach out to me, I'll help you. Structure of today's review of the alerts we use, easy. I'm going to give you what the alert does, either automated rule or script, why it's mandatory, or kind of like why we use it, and mandatory for us in Holini, up to you to decide if you want it to be mandatory for you as well. I will give you some setup details, and for most of them, I'll just show you a quick example of what the output looks like as well, so you know what to expect. Okay, and first one, getting started with, let's say, very, very base hygiene. If you're running ads, you're going to be wanting to run ads. You want to have some impressions. So to determine whether ads are running, impressions are the most solid metric to use, because there might be the rare occasion that you are showing ads, but no one is actually clicking on them. Maybe they're not good enough or something. So if no clicks are happening, then you're not going to have any cost or clicks or conversions or anything else in your accounts. So impressions are the very first metric, let's say, that happens, and easiest to use when you want to just get an overview if things are actually live as you want them to be. So what it is and why we use it. As I mentioned, it checks data. We set it up to run early in the morning, just to, before we kind of start the day, to get an overview of if everything is nicely running and serving impressions. So it helps detect disapprovals, billing issues. One thing we recently went through with one of our accounts that caused a lot of stress was going under Google's automatic review, which is something they don't notify you about at all, and they can suddenly just put your account under review, no information about anything in the account, simply all of the campaigns, ads, everything just stop running for some time. I think it was like 24 hours or something like that. Luckily, I wasn't managing the account that this happened to, but it took a lot of time for us to go crazy and investigate what's going on, why this happened. We couldn't find any information. This had only just started, so there wasn't any info about this online as well. The info only started coming after we also experienced it. So I believe that account happened to be in some kind of first batch or something. So just to kind of get these notifications as early as possible before another day of inactivity can already damage performance. Yeah, billing issues can cause this, the account going under review, but also some targeting issues. So let's say you set up a new campaign and there just isn't no volume for the keywords that you chose or for the targeted audience on display if you're running, for example, display campaigns. So just to kind of identify these things without even actually having to go into the account. Very, very base hygiene. Regarding setup, we schedule this to set up daily, to run daily, because obviously we want to be notified as early as possible. There's also the option with automated rules to set them up hourly. But with this, we have to keep in mind that for most businesses, especially in B2B, and if we're targeting specific countries, there are some hours during the night where there might be no impressions, and that's okay. And we don't want to create these false positives, again, because that would crowd our inbox and eventually we would start ignoring this alert. So this is why we have chosen the daily, let's say, time frame for this alert. Also keeping in mind the account's time zone, as I mentioned earlier as well. Okay, so here's a quick screenshot of the setup of an automated rule. I will zoom in as well. So basically what you do is you choose an alert type. So you want to be sent an email. You choose which accounts you want this to apply to. So as I mentioned, we are setting this up on MCC level. So each of our specialists has these alerts on their MCC level, covering all of their accounts. The condition that we want to kind of trigger this rule is impressions under 1, and action is send email. Then you choose the frequency and the time using data from either today or yesterday, however you prefer. By this hour for this specific account, presumably ads will have already gotten impressions because the working day had already started enough or something like that. So just to keep in mind. Then for these alerts, it usually only makes sense to send an email only if there are any changes or if this rule triggers. You don't need to be notified every time this rule runs. You only want to be notified when this under 1 impressions condition is triggered. And then you just add the email recipients. Shouldn't have necessarily blurred this out, but well, not hiding our team members. So the output, just to kind of give you a quick overview, is an email that you get in your inbox. So let's say this run, and this is the contents of the email that's coming from Google Ads. So you want to make sure that for some reason this doesn't end up in spam or something. And it shows you which accounts were affected. And then you are able to go and take action if needed. And simple as that. Next one, link checker script. So this has been around for ages. I believe I already added this into my accounts when I started with Google Ads almost 8 years ago now. So it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. So it's also available via the scripts template. So if you go to set up a script and you can choose, okay, I want to set up a script from a template, then it's already there as well. But I have linked to the page where you can get it also. And there's some extra instructions there, even though it's very straightforward. So link checker, what it does, it basically just scans all of the final URLs of your ads. And so the pages on your website that you are directing to, and identifies if there are any broken links, 404 errors, or redirects. And these are things that you would want to know about, because obviously you don't want to send users to a broken page, especially if you have paid for that user's click as well. So it detects any disapprovals or kind of Google Ads get disapproved in most cases when when the final URL isn't working entirely, but in some cases of redirects, they still continue to work. Just helps you find non-functioning landing pages, avoid wasted ad spend if you take action after seeing this alert, and avoiding poor user experience for your prospects that you are trying to capture. So very much kind of a base hygiene type of script that we want to have running. And in this little purple button later on, when I send you the slides, by clicking there, you are taken to the page where you can get the script as well. So this is relevant for all slides where you see this link icon. And yes, detail for setup. When you're setting up the script, makes sense to run it hourly, because we don't want there to be a single hour in the day where our final URLs are broken, no matter if it's day or night. So this one can run hourly checks, ensuring that when something does go wrong, you are notified as quickly as possible. And here is an example output. So you will be sent an email again, and with a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet will contain the final URLs that have issues. And you can then contact the client or work on it, figure out what's wrong. Give some work to the developers, because they never have work, right? They always have time for marketing tasks. Okay, next one, script. Budget tracker. So this is something that we have enhanced a little bit to better fit our specific needs, but this was originally also developed by someone else. And we are happily using it. So what it does, it tracks your budget spend per account or per specific entity. So you can choose whether you want to track the spend of the budget on account, campaign, ad group, keyword level, over a selected date range as well, of course. And you can decide which level of granularity makes sense for you. Again, worth not going crazy about it. maybe in most cases you don't need keyword level, super granular budget pacing data every day. Maybe you do. Up to you to find the right balance. And what the script does, it outputs current month spend, yesterday's spend, and last month's spend into a Google sheet. I'll show you as well in just a sec. And why we use it? Well, basically, it allows accurate multi-account, multi-entity budget monitoring super easily without having to open every single account. It prevents overspending by enabling daily budget pacing checks, and also enables detecting underspending trends. For B2B accounts, what we are seeing in our portfolio, the strategies that we use aren't often as simple as just kind of taking a monthly budget and dividing it by 30 or 31 to get the daily budget. Sometimes we have to set higher daily budgets to allow for smart bidding to work better, to work more optimally. And then we have to keep this kind of manual eye on the budget actual spend more. And by manual, why I use these is the fact that we don't actually want to do these calculations in every single account manually every day. This is exactly why we have this budget tracker script. So it is again linked here, and I will show you just a sec. Just something to keep in mind, scripts will be timed out. If I remember correctly, I think the maximum time they can run is 30 minutes. So if you have like super crazy amount of accounts in your MCC and you set this up on MCC level, then the script might be timed out. But in that case, you can just make it run multiple times. But I doubt the majority of you will be struggling with more than 50 accounts that you need to monitor personally. So here's a quick screenshot of what the output spreadsheet looks like, and I will now switch tabs. Can I do this? Yeah, share this tab instead. So this is an example that we created, a duplicate of an actual live updated budget tracker spreadsheet, just to kind of show you what it is and walk you through some of the main cells, columns to look at. So legend here says you don't have to touch anything in the gray cells. These are automatically populated. Green cells are data that is pulled from Google Ads API. No need to modify anything there manually. Yellow is the stuff that you need to enter manually. So at the start of the month, you would go in and put, okay, what is the target budget for these specific accounts for this given month? Orange are stuff that is calculated based off of a formula in this sheet here. So for example, if we have target monthly budget of 10,000, then expected average daily budget will be C9. So this 10,000 divided by E6. So E6 is days, no, not days left, but days in the month. So if you would pace your budget super evenly for every day, this would be the daily budget. But as I mentioned, sometimes life isn't as simple as having an equal budget for every single day. We will have to accommodate for bigger fluctuations. So this is where this this sheet really comes in handy, so we can see, for example, highlighted in red are any kind of potential like alarming issues. Where how much of the target budget has been spent, considering how much of the month has passed. So if we see that, okay, 45% of the month has passed, but we have already spent 63% of the budget, potential issue there, if we don't want to totally have to pause our stuff at the end of the month. And something that our account managers kind of take the first look at that helps them set priorities for the day if any urgent action is needed is this column. So whether the account is under or overspending. And the color and boldness here is also, let's say, proportional to the severity of the situation. So if you're only a little bit over budget, then having some 5 to 10% over budget or under budget during a given day is fine. Like, you shouldn't be like alarmed and jumping in the account to change everything. But if you're already projected to be almost 40% over budget, that would probably already warrant some action from your side. Or similarly, being under budget. For some clients, being under budget is a bigger issue than going a little bit over budget. So it, again, really depends on the account and the current goals. There's a lot of columns here. I'm not going to go through all of them here because I do want to have time to show you all the other alerts as well. You will get access to this. I believe they are all quite self-explanatory. Once you have the sheet to yourself, you can look at the formulas and go through it at your own pace. And again, if you have questions, feel free to reach out. Something we really use a lot, and is also helpful when during vacation periods we have to hand over monitoring and taking care of the accounts to someone else. So this is a nice way to get a really quick overview of things. Okay, now I'm switching back and you should be seeing my presentation slides again. Okay, I will come here. Next, works. Okay. Search impression share lost by budget. Now, this really should be a drinking game by now in Holini already, or in general, whenever someone from Holini mentions search impression share lost by budget, we should be warranted a shot or something. I'm not going to go into the topic of why this is a super important metric for us and then how we use it. I will simply leave this link to a previous workshop here where I did that. So to kind of explain the impact, the potential of monitoring this metric to help improve your cost efficiency or getting the maximum out of your budget and your Google Ads account. But because it is such an important metric for us, obviously it makes sense to set up an alert that notifies us when there is potential to optimize based on this. So this is exactly what we have done by setting up an automated rule. So basically, this just helps monitor how often ads didn't show due to budget limitations. And again, why I had a whole workshop on this, it's not as simple as just, okay, well, I had more budget and I didn't have. So if I didn't have, that's all I could do. There is stuff you can do. So go check out that workshop if you haven't already. So we want to be, as I mentioned, notified when there is an optimization opportunity. So it reveals for us when campaigns running on target ROAS, target CPA, or manual CPC have optimization room. Just something to keep in mind that maximize conversions, maximize conversion value, maximize clicks, bid strategies like that are meant to have search lost impression share by budget. And they are inherently not as efficient. So setting up this rule isn't really relevant for the campaigns that are using those bid strategies. Also, for setup, little note that using some sort of delay is recommended. So we usually set up this rule to check the last 2 or 3 days, for example, because search impression share metric needs almost 24 hours to be complete. I have also linked an article here where you can see which metrics take how long to populate in Google Ads. So we don't want to be checking an account when the data isn't yet complete. Otherwise, we will have false data. Yeah. So just to emphasize again, this alert is only really relevant for campaigns running on TCPA, TROAS, and manual CPC. Quick screenshot, and we shall zoom in as well. So again, setting up an automated rule, really nice and simple if you go through the steps one by one. We want to be sent an email when a rule triggers. We don't want any action to be taken in the account. Automatically, we choose which campaigns from which accounts we want to check. And we only want to be checking enabled campaigns, obviously. We only want to be checking ones that have these specific bid strategies. And we want to be notified when search lost impression share by budget is over 5% in the last 2 days, in the case of this screenshot. But still, we want the alert or the rule. Ooh, that's a bad circle. We want it to run daily. And this is the time frame that made sense for this account. So early in the morning, before this account manager starts work, the data from past 2 days is checked. So whenever they get up in the morning, open their laptop, open their inbox or Slack alerts channel, they can immediately see if something needs action. And again, just choosing the email addresses that will be receiving the notifications. Simple. And example output, again, from this automated rule is going to be an email in your inbox from Google Ads that tells you that this automated rule ran in one account and was, let's say, triggered. So you can then go and take action, take a look. Next one, when running Google Ads, we obviously want to know if results are not coming in anymore, whether it's the fact that results actually aren't coming in, or it's the fact that tracking is broken, or something in between. We want to know. And something to note here with this automated rule is, I'll get to that in a second, this slide first. So we will be flagged by any tracking breakdowns, as I mentioned, tag firing issues, performance drops as early as possible. So there are a vast number of things that can cause no conversions in your account. So worth staying on top of this, let's say. And now, this really important thing to keep in mind to help make sure you're not creating unnecessary panic for yourself is that we want to check the metric called conversions by conversion time, not the classic, let's say, conversions metric. And this is because conversions by conversion time, as I highlighted here, shows your conversion count based on the day the conversion occurred. Whereas the conversions column is populates conversions to the time that the click happened. So it might easily be that you are checking yesterday's results and you are not seeing any actual conversions there because the clicks that happened yesterday haven't yet resulted in a conversion, so due to conversion lag. So it is way more actionable for the sake of this alert to use this conversions by conversion time metric, because those numbers are final and are not going to be, let's say, retrospectively populated anymore. So again, automated rule, super simple, zooming in, choosing which accounts, and condition. Little detail maybe worth mentioning here is that, again, conversions by conversion time metric is the one we want to use, but we don't set it to under 1, because when using data-driven attribution, conversions will be split, let's say, and you can see 0.01 conversions on a specific day if there were multiple clicks before this conversion, and then the conversion will be divided between all those clicks. So what we want to be checking is that were our conversions by conversion time under or less than 0.01, because then they will have been actually 0 and there might be a potential problem. Again, time frame that we usually use is checking yesterday's data, because conversions do also have a little bit of a lag for them to be populated. You can't run this hourly. Most B2B accounts don't have conversions happening every single hour as well. And we want to run it daily. What to keep in mind in B2B, this alert, depending on your business, your volumes, you might have days that are 0 conversion days, and that's okay. But I think it still makes sense to have some kind of an alert like this, whether you then decide to expand the time frame to a longer time period, but then you are sacrificing the pace or the speed of getting the notification, or you simply accept that, okay, in some days it's okay to have 0 conversions, and maybe your alarm bells start ringing if you get this notification multiple days in a row already, and you then see, okay, why do I have 0 conversions 3 days in a row or 5 days in a row? This is a problem. So yeah, again, take into account your account's specifics, please. And output example, again, is just an email in your inbox that tells you that this automated rule ran into accounts. And the name here, conversions in 0, is what the account manager has put as the name. So they are still, I assure you, checking the conversions by conversion time metric, but they don't need that in the email subject line. So they shortened the name for themselves. Okay. Next one is a script, and this one is developed by the king of scripts, Niels. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his last name. I have not met the guy. I haven't had the chance to ask how it's pronounced, so I'm not going to embarrass myself here today. I hope he's okay with being called Niels. So this is, again, just like a super basic account hygiene thing that we want to ensure never happens. We never want to be showing display ads from our search campaigns. So under campaign settings, there is the option if you want to enable display network or search partners network or not. Display network is something we definitely do not want to enable. So this is just a script we can set up on MCC level to regularly check and make sure that whenever a new campaign is created in whatever account, no one accidentally enables display network. So this is hopefully not going to have any alerts notified, or you're hopefully not going to be getting any alerts, but it's still like one of those things. It's such base hygiene that you want to ensure in your account. So yeah, as I mentioned, in search campaigns, it's going to be awful if your budget will have gone to display ads from under your search campaign. So definitely we want to be notified of this. If you are running display ads from under your search campaign, so you are showing ads in display network from a search campaign, this means you're losing control. The targeting is probably going to be objectively pretty bad. The creatives are not going to be good because the ad is put together from the assets that you have provided for a search campaign. And I can guarantee you that there's going to be budget waste on irrelevant placements. So how to set up, link to the script here, and output again is an email notifying you that, okay, in some account, display network was enabled in some specific campaign. So then off to run into the campaign and quickly disable that. Okay, next one. Now, this is something that I will not be able to share with you today because it is not fully done, but it is quite done. Let's say we are at the final stages of doing some tweaks to make it sharing ready, let's say. So Matthias from our team has developed what we call a health check script, which also, yeah, I'll show you what it does. I'm loving it. So if this sounds interesting, I encourage you to make some noise, and especially in the feedback form I will send you after the workshop in the chat here and via email as well. Let me know if you would like to get a full run through of this and get access to this, and I will use my power in Holini to make it happen and deliver, but not ready to share just yet today. So what the health check does, it just gives you a daily overview of spend and main metrics, whether you want to do it on account level or across some campaigns or campaign groups, up to you again. And this is, again, especially helpful if, like us, you're managing multiple accounts and maybe you don't want to manually enter each account every morning to go through all of these things manually. You just get them nicely formatted in a spreadsheet, everything in one place. So it's just gives you a quick health snapshot, let's say, of performance and spend alignment. And it's essential for super quickly spotting any issues. And it also helps our account managers to identify priority areas that should be worked on first for maximum impact. So if you have, let's say, 5 accounts, you see where there are some alerts or statuses in the red, and you can kind of prioritize those as a first thing. So output, I'm going to zoom in as well. And what we see here basically in column A is I have blurred out or kind of covered with a blue box account names, and statuses are like written statuses or interpretations of the data in the following columns, so that you can decide if you want to just take a look at the numbers or you prefer reading a quick overview of what's going on. So it's going to be notifying you of any substantial increases, decreases, and what's really helpful as well, especially in B2B where we don't have crazy amounts of data and we can't necessarily compare day-to-day data really well because it just fluctuates so much. You are shown nicely, okay, what was yesterday's conversions number? What's been the average from the last 7 days? What's been the average from 14 days, 28 days? And it also gives you this conversion variance metric, yeah. So there's multiple metrics, conversions, of course, the kind of main thing. We have spend, we have a few others as well. And here's an example showcasing customizing the output with campaign name filters, so you can get an even more granular health check. So basically you can aggregate based on the naming you use for your campaigns. So either by abbreviations for, let's say, brand generic competitors or brand versus acquisition, or even like we see here in the first section by geographic location. So it kind of works similarly like the campaign name contains filter in the Google Ads interface. So you just have to write them here, the kind of filters, let's say, and automatically data is aggregated from the account. And again, just a super nice place to come in the morning and get a quick overview of how things are going. How are they going compared to different time period daily averages? So yes, again, feedback form. Open it up when I send it to you. Let me know if you want to see this. And if you do, I will make it happen. Next one is an automated rule to monitor what's going on with search partners. So when we set up search campaigns, we obviously have the option to show ads in Google search, as we mostly want to be doing when we set up Google Ads. Or also there's the option of showing ads on search partner network. Not saying it's inherently bad to have search partners enabled, but usually in B2B, we haven't, I guess, really, as a general rule, I'm saying here, I'm not saying this applies to every single account. As a general rule, we haven't seen like some super crazy great performance from search partners, especially in terms of like actual good quality conversions beyond just leads. So definitely worth taking a look. When I have been doing audits for accounts in the past several years, I would say that in the past year or so, something has quite significantly changed in how Google is allocating budget to search partners as well. So before this year-ish time period, it used to always be the case that if you were targeting search partners, only a tiny portion of your budget actually went to search partners. But over the past year or so, I have seen in quite a surprising amount of audits, really, like even half of the budget, more than half of the budget secretly going to search partners. And it's not something you immediately see when you open up the account. You have to add a segment, and most people don't do that or don't even know that it exists there. So definitely worth keeping an eye on what's happening there. So what this does, it helps this automated rule, it helps track the percentage of impressions, clicks, or cost, whichever you decide and set up, that is coming from Google search partners. And we consider it a mandatory automated rule because it allows you to evaluate if search partners are driving down performance and if they should be disabled. So if the percentage is going like too high, something crazy, then we want to know. It might be good performance from it, but experience shows it usually isn't. So yeah, we want to be notified. And how to set it up? First thing you need to do is in your account, create a custom column. So to do this, you should go to Modify Columns, scroll down, and find the Custom Column section, and then Add Custom Column. And for example, here we have done it. Oops. Yeah, we have done it based on cost. So we want to know what percentage of cost is going to search partners. So this is the custom column setup that you need to use, calculating the cost that is going to search partners divided by overall cost. And then next thing, you need to create an automated rule to be notified when this cost ratio is unreasonably high. So for this, let me see, I am zoomed in as well. We again choose send email type of automated rule. We choose which accounts to apply this to. And the condition is, in this specific case, we want to be notified if the percentage of spend on search partners is higher than 10%. You can decide this. It doesn't have to be 10%. You can set it lower as well, maybe not higher. Yeah, running it daily, again, to be notified before work starts about yesterday's data, so we can immediately take action if needed. And I don't have an output example of this because we haven't had this rule triggered internally, so I don't have a screenshot for this. And next script is Ngram analysis. This was also developed when I opened the Search Engine Land article, original one. I think that showcased this. This was developed way before I was even doing Google Ads or marketing, I believe. So it's a really old one, but still super relevant and nice. It's not necessarily an alert, let's say, but it's a script that we want to run regularly in our accounts. I'll get to mine in a second. So what it does, first of all, it takes the search terms in your account over a time period that you determine, and it creates either 1-word or 2-word or 3-word fragments out of it. So let's say you have 10 different search terms, but some of the words in them are overlapping. So it then kind of creates an overview of performance and data across those 1-word, 2-word, 3-word phrases. And it just helps you identify high or low performing patterns. And it's essential to help clean up search terms and identify new negatives or some top performing phrases. And we believe it's especially useful in B2B, where we are all struggling with sufficient data volumes on search term level. So when we are going through the search term report, we often, if it's not something that's like crazy, clearly irrelevant, we often struggle to make a decision. Okay, should I already exclude it, or should it still like gather some data before I make the decision? And this way we can end up wasting quite a bit of budget if we are just letting everything gather data for ages. And in B2B, data gathering happens slowly, especially on search term level. So in B2B, where we are struggling with sufficient data volumes, in order to just speed up decision making, if we are seeing some very strong patterns about some 2 specific words that are never converting, that are in combination irrelevant for us, we can add them as negative keywords. And for us, we try to run this quarterly. Obviously, if you have like an account with super high data volumes, you can run this monthly, more frequently, however you like. But we have usually seen that quarterly is a nice time frame for most of our B2B accounts. And the output of this is an email a spreadsheet, sorry, where you will see these phrases that I have hidden under this purple box. So in this chart, I think it was, 2-gram analysis. So just 2-word phrases, and then the aggregated performance metrics across them. So helps identify some relevant or irrelevant patterns quicker than by just looking at search terms report. Okay, next one is last one as well, I believe. Yes, we have done good pace today. A script to help identify unrecognized changes. And what we mean by this, again, this was developed by Niels. It detects unauthorized or unexpected changes made in accounts by users who are not included in the, let's say, trusted list that we determine. So for us as an agency, for example, we want to be notified if someone else besides the actual appointed account manager makes any changes, whether that's from the client side or whatever. So just to be able to kind of have a consolidated overview of everything that's going on in the account, we need to know everything that's going on. And we don't go into the change history daily, especially if we think that we are the single ones managing the account. So it logs all such modifications by other people who are not included in the trusted list into a Google Sheet, and optionally sends out email alerts. So for us, it just helps ensure account integrity and accountability across teams, and it's especially important when multiple stakeholders or just people have accesses, and to avoid going any budget bid targeting changes going on unnoticed. So for most of our clients, there's quite a list of people that have access, and maybe sometimes they just go in the account to look at stuff, which is obviously fine and more than okay and welcome. But maybe they accidentally click on something and don't even realize that they changed something. So they won't tell us either in this case, not maliciously, but they just don't realize. So we want to know so we can have an overview and potentially act on it if needed. Detects unauthorized, unexpected changes. As I said, main purpose of this this script. And did I have duplicate? I already said this. Sorry. Ensures integrity and accountability. This is by no means like a strategy to spy on others or things like that. But for example, when we manage accounts, it is agreed that only the one appointed account manager makes any changes, again, to have a nice consolidated overview of what's going on. Okay, and for setup, I have linked the script here under the little link icon, so you can get it from there. If I remember correct, I think, was this one the one that we bought from Niels, or was the other one? I think this was the free one, and the other one is paid. So we bought like a bundle of scripts. So I'm not able to like share that with you, obviously, because it's I don't want to share something for free that someone else is selling. But if that sounds interesting to you as a script, then you can go ahead and purchase it from Niels as well. What's happening here? Yeah, setup. Sorry, I'm already so deep in scripts and the structure of these slides. This is new. I felt like there's going to be a duplicate again. So it just scans the Google Ads change history using the change events and checks all accounts under the MCC and all accounts that have enabled campaigns. Simple, easy peasy. And any changes made by unknown users, as mentioned, are logged, and you are optionally notified via email as well. Output example, again, just an email and the report of the changes that were made and the users who made them will be put into a spreadsheet. So you can quickly get an overview directly from your inbox. So we have reached the end of the list. As I mentioned, by no means an exhaustive list of all of the possible scripts. I know all of our account managers actually have more alerts set up for their individual accounts, but those are already account specific. These that I covered today are the kind of base hygiene, mandatory for everyone, no-brainer, makes sense for each account that we manage. So in order to avoid this nice little image I found before last workshop already, make sure you don't allow these types of hygiene mistakes to run wild in your account. Take the time and set up these alerts, have a nice solid alert foundation system so no one can go, or I cannot go and tell you I told you so. At the end when something like this has been happening or happens in your account. So basically, key takeaway from today, determine what matters most for your account or accounts and create alerts for nothing more and nothing less. We don't want to be overwhelmed by emails and then end up ignoring all of them and missing key insights. Something we believe quite strongly with, and why we always with our clients start with audits as well, is that base hygiene has to come before all kinds of fancy strategies and growth hacks and all of that. So there's no point in building something super cool on top of something that is broken or running a bit wild on its own. So ensure the base hygiene is there, and then we can talk all kinds of other cool account-specific strategies. Stay safe. So have this solid system in place. You can relax, breathe easy, and know that the key things that can go wrong in an account, you will be notified without even having to actually go and check on a daily basis. And open for Q&A now. If you have any questions, last chance to pop them in the comments. I'm also pasting the feedback form. I'm super grateful if you find the time for feedback. It's not pasting now, 1 second. It's super short. You should be done in less than 30 seconds. There it is. And yeah, as I mentioned, if that health check thingy sounds relevant, sounds interesting, let me know in the feedback form, and I will use my powers for good and deliver that to you guys as well. Okay, let me just quickly scroll through the messages. AI, weather updates, my feedback form. Okay. Seems like so far, at least, there is no questions. I believe also this was pretty straightforward, just sharing scripts and automated rules one by one. My email is here. If you would want to get in touch, discuss something is confusing, isn't working, let me know. I will reply and help you out. Okay. Thank you again for joining, and have a lovely day. See you hopefully in the next one. Bye-bye.